Section 54 EC. In this also the eligible SSC is all SSC, that means individual, HUF, company, firms, whoever as defined in the SSC comes under SSC, all SSC. Like there is no specification like section 54 individual and HUF, like section 54B individual and HUF. I'll give a quote for you to remember how to remember all this, individual or not. All SSC, it comes individual also. Any capital asset transfer means if you have sold a jewelry is a capital asset. In all this there is nowhere written about jewelry. You might sell a jewelry and may buy a flat. There is a 100% possibility you can sell anything and purchase anything, but here there is specifically given EC. What does EC means? Electricity Company. How to remember section 54 EC? Electricity Company, because you have to purchase when you sell any capital asset, and the period of holding should be long-term capital gain. I hope you are understanding this format now easily. I should move rapidly, I think. Long-term capital gain. Bond of NHAI and bond of RECL should be only purchased. What does NHAI means? NHAI means National Highway Authority of India. Note it down somewhere. You might have a doubt after this lecture. Then you'll think, what is NHAI? You'll start searching your books. Then you'll not be able to find. Then you'll Google it. It might waste your time at least more than 10 minutes. So why to waste time? Just note it. National Highway Authority of India. Bonds of RECL, Rural Electricity Corporation Limited, Electricity Company, EC, 54 EC. To remember easily section 54 EC, just name the section EC as Electricity Company, then you'll come to know this section is for the capital gain section. When any SSC sells any capital asset for the purpose of buying bonds of NHAI, that is National Highway Authority of India, or bonds of RECL, that is Rural Electricity Corporation Limited, then there how he or she, the SSC, will be able, or any other all the SSC will be able to take the exemption. It will be in the following manner. Gross long-term capital gain, amount investment maximum of rupees 50 lakh. So assuming the capital asset sold is of 1.5 crore, capital gain earned is 1 crore. Bonds of NHAI bought is of 1.5 lakh. I said bonds of NHAI capital gain earned is 1 crore, and bonds of NHAI are bought for 25 lakh. That means 75 lakhs is long-term capital gain. So 75 lakhs will come in gross long-term capital gain. Amount investment will be 25 lakhs. Oh, I'm sorry. It will be 1 crore. 1 crore, because our long-term capital gain is 1 crore and the amount invested is 25 lakhs and maximum 50 lakhs. That means whichever is lower means 25 lakhs the amount that we have invested. So that means the SSC has to pay the tax on long-term capital gain at the rate of 75,000, that is gross long-term capital gain less exemption under section 54 EC of 25 lakhs. Then the net long-term capital gain comes to 75 lakhs, and at the rate of 25%, 20%. I'm very sorry for all my mistakes. 20% at the 75 lakhs at the rate of 20%, the tax will be calculated for long-term capital gain. But if any capital asset transferred and purchase of this bonds of NHAI, bonds of RECL should be done within 6 months, and there are questions based on this in your practice manual. So you have to be cautious for calculating 6 months. You will calculate this, you will calculate all this, but you will forget 6 months. There is 100% possibility that you will forget this 6 months. So put a star mark over here and remember, when such sums come, and there are 100% chances in a computation of total income, they might give this as well as section 54. They might directly mention, right, under section 54 purchased a residential house property, under section 54 EC bought NHAI bonds and RECL bonds. So you have to understand what it is. and you have to calculate within the 6 months after the transfer date. If it is not within the transfer, if it is not within the 6 months after the transfer date, then such exemption is not available. The assessee is liable to pay tax on entire 1 crore at the rate of 20% of flat rate. In this, CGDS is not allowed. You have to either invest entire amount in this or you don't invest. Even if you invest 1 crore also, then the amount invested is 1 crore. Gross long term capital gain is 1 crore, but maximum limit is 50 lakhs. 50 lakhs. The tax, the government is sharp enough. They know any capital asset will be sold, and then they will invest in all these assets, all these bonds. So they'll get exemption, but they are sharp enough, so they have put a limit of 50 lakhs, and on remaining 50 lakhs you have to pay capital gain at the rate of flat rate, since it is long term capital gain at the rate of 20%. So no CGDS. Please copy it down. I hope you have copied. Copy it down. I hope you have copied. Next section is section 54F. This person rename section 54 as section 54 Faltu. Faltu admi, Faltu person, a complete useless person. He sells all of his capital asset, including the residential house property, for the purpose of purchasing residential house property, and the period of holding should be long term capital gain. I hope you have taken out 2 pages, because if you fold the page like this, you won't be able to read the particulars of this. So the period of holding should be long term capital gain, that is more than 3 years, and the purchase of new capital asset should be residential house property only. It is only. The formula to calculate the exemption is gross long term capital gain. The gross long term capital gain that we earned divided by net consideration into amount investment. See, like this. See, in this example we have got gross long term capital gain as 10 lakhs, and suppose we have invested 30 lakhs, but the net consideration from here we have taken 25 lakhs. So the exemption will come to, I have not got my calci right now, so you are understanding. So the amount that will come will be taken as an exemption of section 54F. Under section 54 it will be given as exemption, and the remaining amount will be taxable. In this section there is a possibility, and there is 100% possibility, that long term capital gain will come, and you have to pay the tax at the rate of 20%, since this is a formula. There is a formula. Wait, let me see. Wait, I'll bring my calci. Wait for a second. So 10 lakhs into 30 divided by 25, 12 lakhs can be taken as exemption. Amount invested was rupees 30. Gross long term was 10. So it is an hypothetical example, that's why it has came to 12 lakhs. So don't worry, but in exam there is no hypothetical example. Even if it comes in a hypothetical example also, you don't have to worry. 12 lakhs, you are getting 10 lakhs ka already deduction. So you have just earned a gross long term capital gain of 10 lakhs, then you will deduct exemption under section 54. Don't write 12 lakhs, just write 10 lakhs and put the outer column 0. Long term capital, net long term capital 0, so you are not liable to pay any tax. That's it, simple. So section 54F is also complete. There is a criteria of time limit as similar as to section 54B, because the purchase is residential house property. So the purchase of residential house property will be same of that of section 54. I have not written over here, so I want you all to copy that you have already written in your book. Just write over here, just don't write like me, same as section 54. Please write the entire 3 condition: 1 year before transfer date in case of purchase, 2 years after transfer date in case of construction, 3 years after transfer if purchases, and it is eligible for CGDS, and if violation there is a note. I hope, please pause the video and copy. I hope you have copied. So I've put it over here. I hope you have copied. Next video on this section 54G and section 54GA, very simple section.